we have to understand what exactly were successful or what not to run next cycle more efficiency. Team experience is another subset that will limit our solution set. Our experience obsolete quite fast. Hi, I'm Andrei Putin, the CEO of company with hundreds of IT specialists. I really like Cynefin framework that helps to start explaining what for Agile is. Mr. Dave Snowden, an inventor of the framework, says that there is 4 types of process can be. Here we have 4 domains, 2 linear and 2 not. First of all, simple. For example, cheeseburger. Cheeseburger is quite simple. We have cooking instructions, how to prepare it and so on. Okay, cheeseburger. We'll not stop here. Complicated. Complicated is the same, almost the same as a simple or obvious domain, but for example, imagine a building. 4 windows, 2 floors, the blue wall and so on. Here's a cheeseburger and here's a building. Well, basically, if we have here some simple instructions, here we have a lot of instructions about concrete, about wires, about windows, about whatever, about rocks and so on. And, of course, in complicated domains, we need some expert here, but the main thing about linear process is obvious. We have obvious starting point, no burger, no building, and we have a final point, the expected result that's very well defined. And we have some instructions how to get from A to B. And we expect no surprise here. Next domain is Shaotic. All I want to say about it, you better get out from here as soon as possible.
No! Why are you? This is a very bad idea.
And the next one, complex or tangled, no matter. But Agile lives only here. What Agile is and what complex is. When we understand what is starting point is, for example, conversion rate for e-commerce, we can measure it. We know how many users we have. We know all things we have to know, or at least we can find it, information. But the result, it's a vector. It's not a well-defined ending point as it here. Or sometimes it's well-defined, but it's so far and hard to achieve and no linear path to get there. So let's imagine that it's a vector, B, vector. And we have a lot of solution set, almost infinite. We have a lot of ways to get here. We can maybe go right here or something like that. It's not a linear process. How to get here with high efficiency? Because we have limitations here. We have time limits, budget limits, and so on. And moreover, every solutions here, every available solutions here, slightly changes during the time. When the time goes and when we can add some red button in our project, and every other solutions slightly change the expected result. Let's take a look deeper on PDCA cycle. What is basically PDCA? Plan. X, it's an A point, and X stroke, its expected result. For example, for now, we have a conversion rate of, for our e-commerce site 1%, and we expected 1.1. We need to choose from backlog some tasks that will help us to achieve that result. So, it's the tasks that will help us. then we have to do complete the tasks. And the next one, we have to check the result. Result will be X double stroke, right? And moreover, here, very important thing that if in linear process, when we complete our tasks, it's the end of our cycle. Here, we have to understand what exactly were successful or what not. So the next step is act. We have to analyze and make some decisions. For what? To increase our experience, team experience. What for? To run next cycle more efficiency. I mean with more probability. We have to choose the more interesting tasks here. And when we have a project goal, it's one subset. I will change our marker. Project goals and metrics. And team experience is another subset that will limit our solution set. But here the problem, our experience obsolete quite fast, even without our influence. Yesterday our conversion rate were high, but today it will be a little bit less, and so on. Why? Because environment, media has changed, logistic department changed something in delivery time, or customers changed their habits, the society also changed, technologies, and so on. And of course, we have to react on it very fast. Everything changes fast, and if you compare with the linear domains, simple or complicated, they don't rely on time so tightly. But here, absolutely another story. We need to run such cycle faster than experience becomes obsolete. In Scrum, PDCA cycles can be named as sprints, and usually they vary limited in time exactly because that. If our sprint is 6 months long, the task may become obsolete a couple times before we solve it. If we run faster than our experience becomes obsolete, we will increase our metrics with high probability. Not sure, not 100%, but probability will be higher than without it. Is it clear? So Agile is only applicable here. We don't need to assemble a team to discuss how to grill a burger or how to paint a wall. Our burger will not be outdated. We will eat it faster. The buildings became obsolete in 15, 13, maybe 60 years. In Shaotic domains, it's impossible or extremely costly to act that way, because cycles will be slower than we need it. Note: PDCA cycles do not question the success of tasks. They aim to gain experience with the goal based on feedback. Tactical PDCA cycles are impossible without a strategy. Vector B. Both strategy and PDCA cycles require an analytics culture. If you don't measure process from top to down, how you will understand that this impact is because of you? Analytics culture is impossible without the goals of the team connected to each other. The connectedness and consistency of teams is difficult to achieve without process management extend to all management, from C-level to product owners. Managing complex process is impossible without a clear visualization of all processes. Without all this, the best teams are limited by the influence of the worst. That's all I want to say here. Bye-bye.